Important announcement at the end of the story. One sunny morning in the heart of the enchanting forest, Sabaa, the wise and kind-hearted rabbit, found herself babysitting a particularly slow-eating baby panda named Yzma. As Yzma nibbled on a bamboo shoot at a pace that would make a snail seem speedy, Sabaa decided it was the perfect time to share a story to keep Yzma entertained. Sabaa settled down beside Yzma and began her tale. Long, long ago, in a kingdom nestled amidst lush forests and rolling hills, there lived a queen who longed for a child of her own. She wished for a child with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony. Suddenly, one winter's night, Sabaa continued, snowflakes fell from the sky, carrying with them the promise of a child. The queen's deepest wish was granted, and she gave birth to a baby girl with skin as fair as the freshly fallen snow, lips as red as the ripest apples, and hair as black as the darkest night. The child was named Snow White. As the years passed, Sabaa went on, Snow White grew into a beautiful and kind-hearted young woman. But her beauty became a source of jealousy for her stepmother, the queen, who was consumed by envy. The queen, obsessed with her own beauty, Sabaa continued, consulted her magic mirror each day, demanding to know who was the fairest in the land. And for years, the mirror replied that the queen was the fairest. But one day when Snow White grew up, the mirror's answer changed. The mirror said that Snow White was the fairest of all. The queen's jealousy knew no bounds, Sabaa recounted. She ordered her loyal huntsmen to take Snow White deep into the forest, far from the kingdom. But the huntsman, filled with compassion for the innocent princess, could not bring himself to harm her. So they left here in the forest. Lost in the forest, Sabaa continued, Snow White stumbled upon a charming cottage. Inside, she found 7 small beds and a cozy fireplace. The cottage belonged to 7 dwarfs who worked in the nearby diamond mine. Snow White, Sabaa told Yzma, quickly won the hearts of the 7 dwarfs, whose names were Bashful, Doc, Dopey, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, and Sneezy. They welcomed her into their home, and she promised to keep house for them in return. The wicked queen, back at the castle, Sabaa continued, discovered that Snow White was still alive. Consumed by envy, she devised a sinister plan to eliminate her stepdaughter once and for all. Disguised as an old peddler woman, Sabaa recounted, the queen offered Snow White a beautifully red apple, which was poisoned. Snow White, unaware of the danger, took a bite and fell into a deep slumber. News of Snow White's plight reached the kingdom, Sabaa said, and a prince from a neighboring land arrived at the cottage. True love's kiss was said to be the only cure. Sabaa continued, upon learning of Snow White's awakening, the wicked queen sought vengeance. But Snow White, having learned her lesson, was ready for the evil queen. She drew her sword and fought the evil queen, ultimately killing her. With the wicked queen defeated, Sabaa told Yzma, Snow White and the prince were married in a grand ceremony. The dwarfs attended, as did the entire kingdom. They all celebrated the triumph of love and goodness. In the end, Sabaa concluded, Snow White and the prince ruled the kingdom with compassion, ensuring that envy and cruelty had no place in their land. Yzma, having finished his bamboo, looked up at Sabaa with a contented smile. Sabaa gently patted Yzma's head and whispered, and so, little one, this tale of Snow White teaches us that goodness, kindness, and love can triumph over envy and cruelty, leading to a life filled with happiness and harmony. Yzma, having savored both his bamboo and the enchanting story, had fallen asleep due to Sabaa's magical gift. Sabaa's heart swelled with warmth as she watched the young panda, knowing that this story had left a lasting impression of kindness and love. She promised to tell more fairy tales. Until Sabaa's next adventure, may your dreams be full of lovely fairy tales. Good night. You can now purchase Sabaa the Rabbit's ebook on Amazon.com. Paperback version is in works and will be available soon.